You're listening to
Tipsy Book Reads.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jess.
And we're tipsy.
Too many books on my TBR.
Yeah. This podcast is like a book club for the antisocial. We make a drink inspired by the book we read and talk crap about life and fictional characters. We really hope you listen and drink along. Just a warning, this podcast is explicit. We are all over 21 and there are spoilers. We warned ya.
Side effects of listening to this podcast may include reading vivaciously, extreme bouts of laughter, tipsiness from craft cocktails, talking shit about life and fictional characters. Listen at your own risk.
How you doing?
Thumbs up.
I was like, she just did a thumbs up for all our only listeners. Also, why don't you want to see our faces? I mean, I guess if you're driving, you should not be looking.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's very fair.
That's fair.
Oh my gosh. What book are we reading?
A Court of something.
Wings and Ruin. I can never remember this book's name.
Ekawar.
I've got A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury. Can I remember this one? A Court of Starlight and something, and A Court of Silver Flames. And this one, though, literally, I'm like the pink one. The pinkish purple one.
Wings and Ruin.
A Court of Wings and Ruin. Scary. It sounds a little rough.
Yikes.
Yeah. Where would you like to start? Should we drink? I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah.
Should we drink? What you drinking?
So funny. So this one, Becca helped me come up with. What do we call it? Like the silent killer. This one's inspired by Feyre. It's like super strong, but
Doesn't taste it.
right. Like, don't underestimate this one.
Yeah, 'cause she's going in and she's like, Tamlin, I'm not a killer. I was destroyed. And then secretly she's like, I'm destroying you. And so, yeah.
So it's like everything, all type of liquor. What do we do? Gin, vodka, triple sec, 2 different types of rum, and then juice of choice.
Oops. Yeah, juice of choice. We had watermelon lemonade, which this is fire.
Yummy.
That's so good. I should have grabbed a straw though,
Mm.
because I have a hole in my lip.
Well, all my ice melted, so.
That's because my battery was dead and we had to charge it. Sorry. Anywho, oh my gosh. Okay. So we jumped books. Like we read A Court of Mist and Fury, and then we read Belladonna, which is a whole different series, and then we read this. So recap. Last time we were in Sarah J. Maas's world, we were losing Feyre to Tamlin, and her and Rhysand's bond was allegedly broken, although we find out at the end that it was okay. And she was in the heart of the enemy's house. So that's kind of where we left off, and now we are picking back up with with Feyre, just doing her little painting thing and acting like, woe
so
is
funny.
me.
Tamlin's
She's
so
hilarious.
dumb because, like, I mean, she's a good actor, but also, like, Tamlin's so dumb.
Lucian the whole time is like,
This is sus.
what's your game? Literally, at one point he's like, tell me, because you're gonna get us all screwed over. What is it? What are you doing? She's like, what game? Whatever do you
Tamlin's
mean?
Clueless. He's so dumb.
So funny. He just wants to see what he wants to see.
Yeah. And, like, he's the type that no one says no to, so he
Mhm.
doesn't expect anything except for what he wants to happen, you know?
Mm-hmm. You know, just UFOs. There was a weird sound outside, and we're not sure what it is, but it's fine, I'm sure. Anyways, literally, I also, he's just so dumb. Like, okay, let's go ahead and make a bargain with our enemy. And also, now we're trapped in it. And now we're having to host people of this army that we don't want, don't agree with, that we spent months trying to rally against. Now they're in their home. And they're trying to get in everyone's heads. So Feyre is having to shield everyone. She's so freaking powerful.
Oh my gosh.
She's shielding everyone's brain.
Yep, because they're what is it called?
Gone.
The mind
The mind
people.
killers. Mind flyers.
The mind people like her, and she's like going back into their minds, and like she's good.
She's like, let me just take my talon and scrape against your brain. Ew. That's what I feel like when I hear people brush their teeth. I'm weird about sounds, and there are certain sounds that I cannot do.
slurping cereal for me.
Okay. Fair. I think it's more like the act of brushing, like the bristles,
Yeah.
than actually someone brushing their teeth. But you can't hear it like the same way when you're brushing your own teeth. But when you hear someone else's, I have the same thing. I cannot hear it. It literally makes me want to throw up. And it makes me go, ooh.
Julia's the same way, actually.
Oh, okay. My brother and my sister are both that same way.
Yeah, Julia is like that. Mine is filing nails.
So you can't go to the nail
I
salon?
hate it so much.
That sucks. I mean, that I understand though.
Feeling and sound. Like getting my nails filed too.
Ooh. Yeah. I mean, so that's how I picture that feeling.
Yeah. It's also kind of giving the Darkling. Like, doesn't he do shit like that with Alina?
Yeah.
Anyways. Yeah, these twins are scary. And, like,
They are scary. Oh my gosh.
a little close, too. Like, what is going on there? Like, why is he cutting up her food?
It's literally it's so weird. Like the first time I'm like, are we in like Alabama? Like
Literally, that's what I was thinking.
this is not okay.
No offense to anyone in Alabama. It's
No, but you know
just a
what we
joke.
mean. You know what we mean.
Like that West Virginia, Alabama
Yeah.
stereotype.
Yeah, sorry. But anyways, so that's rough. That's really weird. They're also very creepy. Like, what did they eat those freaking people? The people?
Yeah, they like demolished.
Blech.
Yikes.
So gross. They deserved to die.
100%. Yeah, super creepy. Not a fan. Tamlin is so annoying. Oh my god, the way that Feyre like planted in his head all these like things with Lucian. Like the nightgown scene when she had the quote unquote nightmares.
She's so good.
She really is. But also, he's such like
He's so stupid. Like, really? Like, really?
if he was like a human in today's world, he would drive a jacked up truck with a flow grown sticker.
He is flow grown. Oh my gosh. Way to take us back to our early episodes of our, like, literally 30-minute rants on the flow grown trucks. Yeah, that's so accurate. Oh my god.
Or a lowrider with the muffler that sounds like the can opener. Like one or the other.
Yes. Oh my gosh. He's so stupid, but he's trying. He's allegedly trying to be a better person.
He's
But then
not
he-
succeeding.
And then he loses his mind and hurts her, and she lets her shield down, and but it does show us in that moment of like how much of a worse situation it would have been if she was still human
Mm-hmm.
and prior to her learning all her gifts and stuff.
Yeah, and like her healing powers and stuff as Faye, yeah, she like muted them, but even after that, she was still surprised by how slowly everything healed. So like he got her good as an immortal Faye. If she was human, she like
I mean, it's like what they say, the High Lord's powers are unmatched.
yeah.
So he threw all his powers at her. And I love that the guards were just like, calling bullshit.
Yeah. Dang. He needs anger management
Yeah.
therapy.
Yeah. What about the guard, the whipping scene?
Oh my god.
Oh, trigger warning. Sweet Home Alabama. No, literally. Trigger warning, including violence, whipping,
murder,
rape. A lot of things in
all
that
the
list
graphic,
is not.
gory things
Yeah,
that may
graphic.
potentially be triggering.
We're gonna talk about it. So this is probably not the episode for you, and that's okay. And we'll see you next time. Okay, but the whipping scene. Holy cow. There are so many layers of this plan happening
Yeah.
that you're just like, so whose idea was it at this point? You know, like she does
Yeah.
such a good job. And then also, are you for real, Tamlin? Are you for real?
Like, how does he not see mutiny coming? The way he treats his people?
Yeah. Like that is not okay.
And
we don't
he's-
treat people like that.
No. And he was like just trying to act like a tough guy in front of Hybern's people or whatever.
That's what it was. Okay. And Enith or whatever her name is, trash person, Ianthe,
Oh,
trash human, trash fae, priestess.
I hate her so
Hate
much.
her so much.
I
She's
loved the
worst.
moment where Feyre like glowed and was like, that
This is what I'm
bitch.
Took her moment away from her and was like, ah. And she just played into it. She like looks to Lucian. I can just go like picture her facing towards Lucian, like, ah. And then
Literally.
being like blessed.
Not Lucian like bowing to it, knowing that it was like a ruse. He's
Besties for life.
100%. I was like, he like knows something is going on and he's so sus and he recognizes the power and knows what it is and is like,
I'm gonna do it anyways.
I have this gut feeling I should trust her. I'm gonna play into this.
That, and also I think in that moment, like, because he hates Ianthe so much,
Yeah.
that he's like, oh, this is gonna piss her off. I
Let's
love
do
it. I love it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I still have my issues with Lucian, but
Yeah.
he's come a long way.
He has come a long way. And like we spoke about before, like, he was definitely abused by Tamlin.
Well, yeah.
100%. Okay, yeah. That whole scene was wild. And then the dancing after and how she's like, I'm cringing in the inside, but I'm acting like I'm smiling and all this stuff.
She's like, ew.
Ew.
He's touched me.
Gross.
Let
Get
me go
off.
wash my hands.
Okay, but the scene backtrack a little bit where he loses his temper and hurts her. Honestly, Rhysand was quite the person not to just fly in, and you know he wanted to.
Yeah, he had to be dying in that moment.
And that must have been pretty bad if like their bond was already being dampened, like for it to go through that powerful.
Dang.
Mhm.
Proud of him.
Mhm.
And also like his confidence in her to like know that she was handling it, you know?
Mhm.
Whereas Tamlin always tried to coddle her and never like believed that she could handle things herself.
Mhm.
Like Rhysand, as hard as it is for him to let her like do this on her own, he's does not doubt her at all.
Yeah.
You know? So that shows his character too.
Mhm. All right, you have more notes than I do, so go for it.
Okay, so the whole situation, Jurian. So I have a lot of like thoughts and questions about Jurian and like where his alliances lie and the conversations that he's had with Feyre and stuff. Like when she sent the Child of the Blessed on or whatever and he like thanked her for that. And there's like I don't know, it up to this point it like wrote him off as such a big bad wolf that I'm like, is there more humanity still left in him than like it initially let on? So I'm very curious to see where the whole like Jurian plot goes, because like I could see him being a key factor later on if there is still more humanity in him. Just, there's shards of it, you know?
There are shards of it, and because you, like you said, he's made out to be horrible. But like people like that don't just say thank you for saving.
Some humans' lives.
So interesting point. I like that.
So, I don't know.
Do you think it's gonna play in like later?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do. That I would, if I were to guess, I would say yes. Just because, why would she plant those little things in there? You know.
Where do you think his loyalties lie?
I don't know if he knows yet
Oh,
at this point, but I think that those shards of humanity will definitely come to play later. It could be like the whole like Peter Pettigrew's own hand turning against him type of thing.
True.
You know, like
Oh my god, I can't even imagine being an eyeball in Silent Spring for all that time. Just saying, like, at first, like, because I thought we talked about this being Feyre's drink, and then with the topping, for half a second, I thought it was an eyeball, and I was like, is this Jurian?
I mean, it could be.
That's hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
But anyways, yeah.
Yeah.
Good point. I like that.
So
That whole scene, just honestly, every time they went out with the twins and with Jurian, like we learned little tidbits.
mhm.
There are things sprinkled in there that are super important to know, like that. And honestly, just the way that they keep trying to get into their brains and like all of that stuff. And then the apple she ate.
Mhm. And how there's like a field of them. Like
Mhm.
all the food back in Highburn is like grown with this, what is it called?
Faebane,
Fabane.
which is not good. It's
Yikes.
bad news.
Yeah. And then also just like all the information that we glean about like the holes in the wall and like things about that, and as far as like
Yeah.
ways to repair it or break it down. And also we learn like how big the army really is. Like the twins kind of led on to
It's
that.
not good, guys. It's not good. Okay, so they're creating this genetically modified organic material, right? So as this is happening, something that she brings up while she's taking bites of the food earlier on is this food does not taste as good as
Normal
night
Fae food.
court. And she specifically said the seasoned night court. And I think that is to play, but I think a huge part of it is because Faebane, isn't it?
Probably.
Like, I think that it's more that it's been genetically modified than the fact that it's not a seasoned.
Yeah.
Which it may be. But still, like, I think that was a little... Sarah was like, ding, 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 ding.
Yeah. Something's off here.
Something's wrong. But, okay, so they lose their mind when the twins do their thing to the humans, and Feyre and Lucian, they just work so well together.
Oh my god. And she was like, this is the first time we were like on the same page. And how mad Tamlin was about that, bro.
He's such trash.
He literally is. And just how Lucian like understood. Like, one, it was inhumane, period. Two, like Feyre was a human.
Yeah.
He's like, let's get him. Let's
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. I loved it. He was like, what do you want to do?
We ride at dawn. Let's go.
Yes. I love Lucian. I know he has his issues, but like truly, he will stand by her.
Yeah. Yeah. So
At one point, were you like, okay, get me back to the night court? Like, I'm over this.
yeah, 100%.
Like, there is at one point where even when I first read it, this time around also, where I was like, can I fast forward 15 seconds? Like, all of it is important completely, especially for information to come. But I was like, I miss my inner circle. I miss Reese. I miss Cassian. I miss Moore. I miss all of them and their little party shenanigans. Get me back.
Bestie clan.
Yes.
I'm over Tamlin and his shit.
Mm-hmm.
And freaking what's
Amarin.
the priest's name?
Oh, Ianthe.
Ianthe.
Okay. It took a week for the Faebane to get out of their system. A week she couldn't contact.
And
Tamlin.
she's so freaking powerful. So imagine what it would have done to a lesser fae.
Mm-hmm.
So if they bring that food over with their armies,
Mm-hmm. Not good.
yikes.
Not good.
Yikes. Like pour it into the water source.
How nervous were you when the brothers showed up?
Yikes.
Yeah. Were you like, don't show your powers, don't show your powers? Or were you like, burn them alive?
I mean, leave no witnesses. Come on, my girl.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Like, how would they know? They would never know.
Exactly.
It could have been Lucian's fire.
Yeah. Even before that, when she was trying to GTFO and the priestess had Lucian in the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and she's like, I could leave right now. And I was like, girl, you know you're not going to leave Lucian. Like,
Not the bestie.
you already saw, like, the memory of her and Rhysand. You're not going to leave Lucian to that. She didn't, obviously,
No,
but she freaking demolished. Oh, my gosh.
I loved it.
That
And let
was-
her live
Yup.
only just because she's like, there was a reason.
Yeah. And also, like, death is too
Kind.
easy. Yeah.
Yep.
Like, every time you see those scars on your hands, think of me.
Mm.
And how Lucian's just, like, standing there tied to a tree, like, oh,
Oh,
this is favorite.
shit.
This is what you meant when the old you was died under the mountain. I see.
I see you, Feyre. So,
Even
the whole
on
time
Faebane.
on Faebane, she was acting like that.
And
like,
those twins, like, Winnow, get him,
Mhm.
stab him,
Winnow
go.
stabbed him, and then she's like, I've been training. And Lucian's like, no shit.
Really? Are you sure?
I couldn't tell. Okay. The scene of them running away from the brothers is one of my favorite written scenes, because the way that she structures it gives me the same feeling as like Throne of Glass, of just like intense stress. And it's really well done, and the whole time I'm like freaking out.
Like the survival instinct.
The survival instinct. And to just piggyback on what you were saying of how powerful she was, and Lucian being like, what? She literally, like, she just does one of those, like, turn with the fires, and then she's like, ice, ice, ice. And then she goes to turn to look at Lucian to be like, run or whatever, and he's just wide-eyed, like, oh my
Shook.
God.
Shook. Is she? This is Elsa.
Yeah, literally Elsa. But I think that's a good spot to maybe take a little break,
Yeah, let's do it.
and we'll come back to that scene. We'll be back.
This episode is brought to you in part by Fern and Fable Books, a little bookshop in Ormond Beach, Florida. Check out their website or their store.
We're back. Better than ever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we left off the scene of the brothers. Go.
It was wild. Oh, no.
That was a bit scary.
That was scary.
I barely touched it. Oh well. It's okay. We'll worry about it after.
Okay. That was scary. She's also a badass, but they were struggling because that Faebane.
That's what was so scary. Like, there was another whole element.
Yeah. And then Cass and Az.
Oh my God.
Yay.
Get your hands off my high lady. Absolutely.
Stunning.
Ah, I love. It's so good.
When they're flying away and Azrael had Lucian and Cassian's just like, I don't know who's more uncomfortable right now.
Lucian or Azrael?
And they're both just like trying to touch as little as possible.
Like,
so funny.
How did Azrael like grab the short straw out of that situation? But then the cute little moment of her hugging him.
I know, and he's like, I miss you too.
Oh.
Love.
You know how scared all of them must have been for her?
You a miss.
It is what it is, honestly.
Fair enough.
Gotta watch these anyways.
I got chills at her reunion with Reese. They just like fell to the ground. They're just like,
I can't even imagine. Oh.
imagine how awkward Lucian must feel. Like these people that he's like has been built up as his enemies in his head, and he's just like standing in a corner, like witnessing all of this love, and he's just like,
I thought you guys were evil.
I'm very confused. There's a lot going on at the moment.
Yeah, he was confused. He didn't know what was going on. His little eyeball twitching.
And and just like being a bystander of all of that. Even if it's not your enemy, that's awkward. But then you're like, oh, I've been trained to hate these people.
Yeah, and like
This is weird.
there's children laughing.
Yeah.
There are children laughing in the streets. Oh, that moment was so, I don't even know the correct word for it. It was
Yeah.
heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And then they had their reunion, and then she saw her sisters. Nesta girl.
She's a bitch.
She is a bitch. Yeah. She's rough.
She's
She
such
has
a bitch.
issues. Yeah. I mean, in this moment, like, there's literally your sister was just essentially kidnapped and gone into hiding or to infiltrate the enemy,
Yeah.
and you acted like that.
Yeah, like I could see her resenting like the Fae or whatever as a general, but your sister, her being like, "Why are you here?"
Yeah.
Bitch, what?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, that still doesn't sit well with
She
me.
makes me so angry.
It still doesn't sit well with me, and I've read through the whole rest of the series.
Like, call her the little salt lady. Like she's so salty about everything. You know, like the guy with the salt.
Salt Bay
Yeah,
from like 2020.
yeah. That's Nesta.
Okay, that's really funny because he's like Salt Bay,
Yeah,
not like salty.
yeah, but like,
Yeah, she's salty for sure. And then Elaine, precious little Elaine,
Elaine.
she's withering.
She's like how Feyre was when Feyre was stuck in Tamlin's world.
100%. I loved Rhysand being like, you didn't tell me, you won't let me see her. And I've respected that. You did not tell me, Nesta, that she is in this deep of trouble.
Yeah,
How am I supposed to help if I don't know?
and him just genuinely being like, "What can I get you guys?" Like I can just see him like trying to take care of them while Feyre was gone.
I know.
Just trying his best.
And Cassian just showing up all the time and just giving Nessa little
what
side
is
eyes.
going on?
I don't know. Ferris just like picks up on all of that junk.
I
She's
mean,
like-
I've been sus of Cassian and Nesta since day one.
yeah. And now you're like,
He's got it bad.
he's got it bad. He
He's
does.
got it bad.
I love though that he's like, let me train you, and she's like, no, and he's like, that's on you. That's on you then.
Yeah.
Like, you want to be able to take yourself and hold your own, other than just words, you know, against the Fae, because you got strong words, girl. You do. But and then still, the secret of her powers are looming. Like, what are they? They both obviously probably have powers.
Mm-hmm. What are they?
What
I
are
need
they?
to know. Yeah.
Also, we read through chapter
22.
22. We did not say that in the beginning. We're doing this in 3 parts. So, because it is so big, and we want to be able to take our time talking about all of this. So, chapters 1 through 22. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're good. Are Cassian and Nesta mates, or is he just in love with her?
I don't know at this moment.
Okay.
We'll have to find out.
Okay.
But I do think he's in love with her.
100%.
Like, no one just shows up. You know what I mean? Like every other day if you didn't love someone.
yeah, he's totally in love with her.
And then like he's described as having this face of like just sorrow because he can't fix it
Yeah.
and he thinks it's his fault.
Just like his empathy. He's like, feels it.
Yeah, I mean he was crawling towards Nesto and
He
I mean like you know.
yeah.
And I think even Farrah says like very similar to how Reese was crawling towards me. I don't know.
Also, like, what is this whole male fading bond? Because these girls are like nonchalant and the men are like
Going crazy.
going batshit.
I don't know. Maybe they're just like ultra powerful. And they're just like, I don't need no man.
Yeah.
True. Good point, though. Okay. That whole scene made me so sad.
Which whole scene?
Elaine.
Oh, yeah.
Poor little gardening baby. She's just so precious.
But I feel like, is she gonna come back and be the most badass of them all? Like it just like
want her to.
like it just plays her off as such a weakling, and I feel like her power is just gonna like rival them all.
I feel like this isn't. Oh, I don't know if it is a spoiler. I think I'll just leave it with I don't know.
Okay.
At this point.
Okay.
Or so we'll see maybe. There's lots of rumors that the next book coming out is Elaine's book. So I want it so bad because a lot of people are upset of how she's portrayed of being like flowery and there's so much power in that. Get over yourselves. Like
Yeah.
there's so much power of being like the sweet, compassionate gardener. Like
Yeah,
get
it
over
goes a long
yourselves.
way for sure.
And also sometimes they're the most.
You don't want to underestimate.
Don't
them.
underestimate
Let's just say
them.
that. Let's just say
But
that.
I do hope like her power is like.
Yeah, I hope so too.
crazy.
I think it will be.
Mhm.
I do. I also, the crawling thing, I was like,
Yes.
also circling back to the whole like mate thing in general.
Are we gonna talk about the rumors? Oh, I can't. I will literally not finish the series. I'm so dead for real.
There's so much going on.
There are rumors. There are theories. Because in the scene that Elaine gets baptized in the cauldron, there is someone that crawls towards her. And it's not Lucian. It's Tamlin. And if Tamlin's her mate,
I quit.
I quit. Sarah, mark our words. I will be done. I will absolutely not. He's abusive. He is nasty. He is crazy. Do not give him a redemption arc.
Please.
Don't give him a redemption
No.
arc. He does not deserve one.
And also, I don't know. I'm so confused because like so many people are convinced that Lucian is not her mate, which I don't know one way or another. But why would he like have that like automatic instinctual? She's my mate. You know what I mean? Because that's what Reese did when he went back to the Night Court, and that's what he said to Moore or whatever. Is he just covering for Tamlin?
It is described that they both make eye contact before he says it. Like,
So he's covering for Tamlin.
that's what their theory is that he's covering for Tamlin.
But like,
No, thank you. I pass.
I just
Thank you, next.
I don't like it, so I'm writing it off. Also,
The more I hear about it, the more I'm like, no, Sarah, please. You're setting it up to be, and I cannot. cannot.
No.
I'm so for real. I will not finish the series.
No. So that's the only reason that he would do it, is if he was covering for Tamlin.
Only
But
reason.
also, like, my dude, it has been laid out for you that he is not the right side to pick.
Yeah.
You know?
Lucian?
Tamlin. Like,
Yeah, Lucian
like,
picking Tamlin.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. But when you're brainwashed,
Yeah.
it takes a bit. And hopefully he'll get there. That better not be the theory. I mean, that better stay a theory and not a real thing. Just because I just cannot. I hate it. All right, what else do we have left to talk about?
All right, let's see.
The library.
So Rhys showed his wings in front of Lucian.
Sure did.
So their conversation about, like, so you trust him? And they're like,
Maybe we should be careful. We don't know quite yet if we want to trust him.
yeah.
Yeah, that was interesting. But I think Rhys and Moore, because apparently Moore is a truth teller, would be able to see through him.
Yeah.
So,
At least his current intentions.
as his current intentions. Great
And
point.
like you said about, like, brainwashing too, is like he could have good intention, like he could be agreeing with Feyre on these things and having good intentions, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's gonna make the right choices. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we'll
So-
see
Yeah, we will.
what's going to happen with that. But, so Feyre wants to fly, which I'm not going to lie, I laughed. I also laughed. But I think it's adorable. Like, I think it's sweet, and I also want to learn how to fly, so I'm right there with her. But everyone's reactions, too, of just being like,
Hold up, what?
but every minute counts.
Yeah, honestly,
So go for it.
her flying lesson was a struggle. She's like, oh shit, this is gonna take a lot more muscle than I have.
I'm so glad that Sarah wrote it like that and not just her being like,
Wish.
yeah, not that Farrah could just jump and be able to do it. It's a struggle. It's a learning skill. It's muscle memory. It's all these things. And to be able to think through that more than just, oh, it's a book. Anything can happen. I'm very grateful for that. I appreciate that. But yeah, their lesson is adorable.
And Azrael referring to the Illyrians as they, them, not like something that he like
Identify
embodies as. Yeah. Very
interesting.
I think one of the funniest scenes, I think just the whole like funniest thing about all of this is just Lucian's discomfort and everything.
Yes, he dresses
This
to
is
the
such
T.
an oddball.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like the whole where to sit, like the head of the table is what's left, and Rhys is like, I just want food.
He's
Sit
like, I don't
down.
care where anyone sits. Give me the food.
Give me the food.
I'm hungry.
And Lucian's like, this is weird.
So
and
now
he's
I'm
like, what
saying-
is the dress code? He's like, you got slippers on. She's got a ball gown on. What the freak do I wear?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want.
I just love his discomfort.
Oh, I think it's one of the best side plots. Like, it just truly is
It really
adorable.
is. It's, yeah, amazing.
Especially because it shows you just how tainted of a view he has and everyone has of them.
Yeah. And also how very different Rhysand and his court is compared to all the other courts, you know, because Lucian has experience not only in Tamlin's household, but also like growing up in, where's he from? Summer?
Fall.
Yeah, that autumn, whatever.
Mhm.
So like obviously, you know, I'm sure Tamlin always sits at the head of the table and there's like all these formalities and what to eat in what order and like all of the like handbook, all of the handbook things as far as like being prim and proper.
Yeah.
And they're all just like,
He has his lady guidebook put in the back of his pocket.
yeah, 100%. And then he gets to this place that he thought of as this like uptight, crazy, cruel place, and they're just chilling. And they're like drinking wine out of the bottle and
Yeah.
stuff in their faces, and they're just like truly a
freaking
found
Nesta.
family.
Yeah. Yeah. I love them.
Yeah,
Love them.
same.
But Nesta, my God. I'm gonna punch her in the face
She's
sometimes.
so annoying.
She is very annoying.
She's got a pretty dress though.
Moore is like, where'd you get it? Tell me where.
She's like, Reese always keeps the secrets about the pretty dresses.
So annoying. Okay, so that happens, and then the library happens. Not Reese, just like literally toying with her and then
So
winnowing
funny,
away.
and then being like, peace.
She's like, where are you?
So funny.
Rude.
Also, just like all these things that show Reese's character, him giving the library to all of these women who are just healing and giving them so much. Like, he's always somebody who gives people choices.
And asks for nothing in return.
Yeah. And he's just amazing. He's my favorite.
I know, I love him so much.
Same.
I just can't even tell you how excited I have been for you to meet Reese.
I love him.
I know. Me too. Me too. But yeah, and then Moore's story of making sure that she takes care of them too and all that stuff. Like they're just lovely people. What a family.
And how Amarin is the one that gets through to Nesta.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna like definitely be a big thing.
Yeah.
And how
They're
she basically
besties.
is like, we're alike in this.
Yeah.
Like we don't
Like
fit the
us.
mold that was
Mhm.
made for us.
Mhm.
And I think that's gonna be very interesting.
What about this monster that makes Cassian lose his voice for days?
Skilly.
Very skilly. Very just like random.
Yeah. Also, is Feyre gonna be like besties with this monster and have it? Because she's like, they have the people, but we have the monsters, and like all these
but
other
she's
like
so
creatures and
smart.
stuff.
Like I love that she's like, you know what? We could have a good army too.
Yeah.
We have these powerful beings on our side. Let's use them.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, Bone Carver.
Oh my gosh. Okay, now I know
Now
why
we
it's
know.
a child.
Now you know.
Weird.
That's
Weird.
crazy, isn't it?
I want to see what Cassian saw.
Me too. I wonder if it was the monster at the end of the library. No, I don't know. I have no idea. But the Bone Carver is so creepy. I don't know how else to put it. Like,
Also, his sister is the Weaver.
mm-hmm.
Did we know that before?
No.
Weird.
We did not know that before.
I was like, wait, what?
It is introduced in this book that they are siblings. I believe so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't recall that before.
Crazy. They're all connected, which is wild. But anything else on that scene? Or I don't have anything else to say about it.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anything else overall?
No.
What do you think is going to happen next? A lot, apparently. It's huge.
Yeah, there's still a lot to go. So I think we're definitely going to get more from the Bone Carver, and maybe he's going to like convince the Weaver to like be on their side as well. And then definitely something with all these monsters and Jurian. I think we're going to, I don't know, I think he's going to be big.
Great points. I love all of those. Next week, we still have to do what kept us up and everything. But next week, our chapters are 23 through 49. So this will be part 2. And then following part 2, we have chapters 50 through 80. So we're doing them in 3 different parts. Next week is 23 through 49. Okay. Now that we have that out of the way, what kept you up and what kept you home?
You go.
Okay. What kept me up, I'm not even joking, the turnaround we had from the book that we just finished in this book was not even 24 hours.
Nope.
So this book.
Same.
We just have very little time coming up, and so we're trying to do our best with the time that we have right now. And so that means turnaround times of like 24 hours. So it's fine. All is well. But yeah, it took me a bit to get out of the world that we were just in Belladonna and going to this world, because I was like, dang, I want to know what happens with Fate. But that's okay. Overall, like, my excitement to feel or hear how you feel about this series won out. So I'm excited. Okay. what kept me home editing the video and episode of the last Belladonna book, because I had to do that pretty quickly. So, yeah, that.
Fair.
Mhm.
Yeah, this book also kept me up because, like you said, we had to book it on this one, and then kept me home. Just planning stuff for my hubby's birthday.
Cute.
Yeah.
Love. Next week.
Mhm.
Wish him a happy birthday. Or I guess it would have been, this comes out
A couple weeks ago.
a couple weeks ago.
He had a birthday.
Happy birthday, Tyler. You're old.
So yeah.
Cute. All right. All the characters are the same. We're not introduced to anyone new that's
Yeah.
important. So I don't think we can do Enneagrams or Hogwarts houses. So this drink is amazing. Go drink it. The Silent Killer. If you make the recipe, tag us in it or send it to us.
Mm-hmm.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Discord, YouTube. Girl, have you seen our YouTube views lately?
YouTube is why I feel like
Amazing.
it just like,
Hi, YouTubers. Oh, wait, where are the YouTubers?
hey YouTube watchers.
Hi, YouTube watchers. But yeah, we're grateful for you. Anyways, is that it?
Stay
All
tipsy.
those things. Stay tipsy. Bye.